It's mid-November over here in Zone 9A, and there's a definite chill in the air. We're getting a lot more overcast and rainy days in Portland, Oregon, but there's some sunshine to be had too. I've been slowly working on my garden chores over the months of October and November, trying to catch the sun where I can. Today I'm going to show you a few things that I've been doing to get my garden ready for winter. Step 1 has been catching up with the weeds. There are a few that I've just let grow out because I wasn't sure if they were a plant I wanted to keep or if they were a weed that I didn't. It's almost time to start clearing everything away, but I'm going to save that chore for later. This mahogany splendor hibiscus has really filled in and I love the shape that it's grown into. It just keeps going. I think it'll die back to the ground this winter, but we'll see what happens. I've been pruning some of the branches here and there for arrangements, and that has been working out pretty nicely. It's getting to the point in the year where the plants are still blooming and making buds, but it's a bit of a mystery on whether the blooms will have time to mature before it gets too cold and wet. Some things are starting to go dormant, but it's still a really nice mix of flowering plants as well as some beautiful fall color. Over in the back garden area is where I plan on doing the most work this season. There are quite a few plants that I want to move around so that the flow feels better and the sun and shade conditions are more suited to each plant. This back area is also where I have the most fall color, which has been really nice to see unfold. While I'm moving plants around, I also want to keep doing the work to amend the soil. I'm starting by taking the plants out that I want to move, and then I'll go back through and add amendments to each area and dig it in. I'm planning to mulch over that too, but I haven't had time to start on it yet. Our first frost day is in late November, so I still have some time. I can already tell there's been a big improvement to the soil from when I first started this garden about 3 years ago. But it hasn't been easy to do and it's definitely not perfect yet. The soil can still be very hard to dig, and there are also a lot of really thick tree roots in some areas that don't help the situation. We had a really large tree removed from our front yard a few years ago, and a lot of the roots are still in this area. I planted these penstemons last summer, and you can tell that they haven't been very happy here because the plant comes right out of the ground still in the pot shape. There are almost no roots either. I don't think that they were getting enough sun, so I'm going to try and move them to another area where I hope they'll be happier. I visited Portland Nursery a few weeks ago, and while I was there, I asked the person at the information desk how I can improve my soil. The soil here is almost like a clay mix that has no nutrients in it and gets dry and crumbly really fast. The person at the information desk recommended adding a mix of worm castings, compost, and pumice stone to the soil. I've never tried pumice stone before, but she said it would help with the compaction from the rain and the sun we get in the Portland area. She also said to try not to walk on the soil when it's wet, but I can't promise that. These are the irises that I dug out earlier. They're still young and don't need to be divided yet, but I wanted to move them closer to the front where they could be seen better and would get a little bit more sun. I trimmed off the leaves like I've seen Monty Don do so that the plant can focus more energy into root growth, and then once they were in the ground, I watered them in. I'm planting the penstemons I took out along this fence area. I hope they enjoy it here and are able to grow a little bit better. I don't know if this area gets the perfect amount of sun for them, but the soil's a lot better. I think that if I knew what I know today, I might not have chosen them for my garden, but I'm really hoping I can make it work. Next, I trimmed back all of my hardy perennials so that they stay a little bit more compact over the years. This is a curry plant that smells amazing. I haven't used it for cooking yet, but I love having it in the garden and it's a really good grower. I'm just trimming each branch back down to the woody growth part to keep it from getting too leggy. I also went ahead and trimmed back this pearly everlasting. I need to divide it so it doesn't crowd the plants around it so much, but I'll do that when it goes dormant later in the season. It actually looks really nice throughout the winter without trimming it back, but then you risk the seeds spreading around. I usually don't trim it back, but since I want to divide it this year, I figured I might as well. The rest of the garden is looking pretty good. We're going to move around a few plants in this area as well, but that will be later in the season since it's been so much work already. I have bulbs to plant soon too, so I'm really looking forward to getting those in, probably in a future video. My seedlings for next year are coming along too. On the left I have columbine and on the right are hollyhocks. I'm starting to get a little worried that I planted some of these seeds too early. The taproots on these hollyhocks are already starting to come out the bottom of these super tall pots. And these delphiniums are starting to sprout flower buds and I'm not sure whether to leave them or pinch them off. I think I'm gonna leave them and see what happens. So that's how it's been going in my garden in late October and November. I hope that you're enjoying the nice fall weather, and as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could give it a like or subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing more. I hope you're keeping warm in the garden, and I'll see you next time.